Dr. Keith Ballard will soon be leaving Tulsa Public Schools, but he agreed to visit with me and talk about the past and the future. Dr. Ballard, welcome.
Sam, it's great to be here. I'm a big fan. I've been a fan of yours for a long time, and I'm,
closer here.
No, hey, I mean it, and I'm right here in my hometown of Claremore on a campus that I absolutely love. So,
have you got any idea how many people are, no disrespect to the incoming superintendent, but how many people are wringing their hands because you're leaving?
No, I haven't. I will say this though: when you say for a long time, it has been a long time, but my whole career has been pretty much right here in the Tulsa area. Much of it right here in Rogers County. In fact, more than half of it. 43 years, long time. Where did the time go? But I do have a lot of friends, and I've built a lot of relationships.
Well, doggone it, I hope you're not leaving the country.
Well, I'm not.
Before we press on, boy, what an election. And now the paper said that you got emotional, and you told me an interesting little story about that. Did you get emotional?
I did. I did. We passed a big bond issue in 2010, and it was at the time the largest bond issue in the history of the state of Oklahoma, $374 million. It was sometime after that I became aware of just exactly what some of the area schools were doing with technology. And I just believe very strongly in our kids in Tulsa Public, and I thought they deserve to have that. So we went after a tax increase bond issue in 2013, and we had such great response from the public, and we passed that tax increase bond issue, the first one since the 90s. And that laid the groundwork for us to come into this bond issue, the largest ever in the history of the state of Oklahoma. I just care so deeply about those 40-some thousand kids that attend Tulsa Public. I did get emotional. You invest so much time. You pass bond issues because of how you involve the community and everybody, sure. And it takes a lot of time, and we spent about 1.5 years on that, and then it comes down to one night. It comes down to one vote. And I think about our kids playing in facilities that are beautiful and spectacular like what we have here in Claremore. I think about our kids having a one-to-one computing device in Tulsa Public. I think about all that we were doing, the transportation, the classroom. We're hardening facilities, which means we're putting in storm shelters whenever we build libraries. We have 20 of those that are in that bond issue. And yeah, my emotions were near the edge, and to my surprise, it came out at the end, and I think the humorous story you're referring to is I've got a son who's an assistant principal in International English School in Örebro, Sweden. He married a lady from Sweden. And he sends me a text message the next morning and says, "How's Dr. Wah doing today?" He did go on to say that he was proud of me and he thought it was okay to express emotion. I hope it is okay. I can't help
Not
it.
A thing
it
wrong
just
with it.
It just came out.
I think it speaks of your passion, speaks directly to it.
Well, I appreciate that.
You have fought some incredible battles, not all of which have been victorious. We're still it seems like we're fighting a legislative body that has no real concept of how desperate the education picture is. Do you agree with that?
Oh, I absolutely agree with that. And one of my, deep concerns coming to this point in my career is how the legislature continues their lack of support for public schools, both financially and in other ways, but I am deeply concerned about some of the issues today that just don't make sense to me.
Well, AP history,
AP history
is one, for example.
Yeah.
And I got the impression from the story as it emerged from that committee that AP history is just the beginning. They want to eliminate other AP courses.
Sam, AP history curriculum is written by the College Board. The College Board was established in 1900. It's a venerable institution, and they write AP classes to prepare students for college. All three of my kids took AP classes. Your children probably took AP classes. Millions of kids take AP classes. It is troubling, to say the least, for the legislature to decide they want to get involved with deciding what history is. If you look back through history, there are very troubling times when that happened. The government needs to stay out of writing history. History is history, some of it good, some of it bad. I love this country as much as anybody. I have learned from my mistakes over the years. You know, we can't hide what has happened. In Tulsa alone, where I've proudly served as superintendent of schools for the last 7 years, we have some real dark moments in our history. The Tulsa race riot in 1921. We teach that in Tulsa public schools. We teach that. We need to learn from that. So the AP history issue is one that has been very troubling to me, very troubling.
And it disturbs me too, Dr. Ballard, because I think it has a direct impact on education in Oklahoma when we find racial intolerance coming from the mouth of a member of the legislature.
Right.
That is so detrimental
right.
to the progress that a body of people need to make.
Yeah. And, you know, Sam, I had the opportunity to hear your comments on the voucher issue, and I so appreciate you taking that position. To begin with, I think it's just unconstitutional. I don't think it will pass muster with the Oklahoma Constitution if it would ever come to a judgment on that. I'm a very strong supporter of private schools. When I was superintendent here in Claremore, and I was superintendent here for 8 years, I had a terrific relationship with Claremore Christian and with Legacy. Glenn and Amy Schaefer, deep friends of mine, and that friendship established during the time that I was superintendent here. They came to my office and gave me a present whenever I left. I even made their snow calling days back whenever I was superintendent here. And I support their work, but there shouldn't be any mingling of the finances. If someone wants to take their child and they want to go to a private school or they want to homeschool, ought to have the right to do that. But it shouldn't be taking funds from a public use, for a public purpose.
I think there are a great many people that would agree with that.
Yeah.
Dr. Ballard, we're down to about 3 minutes, and I'm so sorry. I wish we had more time, so I've got to ask you very quickly.
You bet.
As you look back on your career, any regrets?
No regrets. I had a great career, and as I look back on it, it's mostly been in the Tulsa area. I came to the Tulsa area in '72, spent 2 years at Coweta, spent 18 at Oologah, went there, taught 3 years, was administrator 9, superintendent 6, had a chance to move, endured the tornado, had a chance to go to Claremore and was there 8. I did take a period of time out of my work in the area whenever I headed up the Oklahoma State School Boards Association. Didn't necessarily like living in Oklahoma City, but I sure learned a lot that I think prepared me for the work that I'm doing now in Tulsa. And I do have another job that I'm going to.
Well, I was going to ask you, there are a lot of folks out there wondering, because you're a young man still.
Yeah, I'm 65.
Where will we see Dr. Ballard pop up next?
University of Oklahoma, Tulsa. I have accepted a full professor's position there, and it's really what I want to do. I really want to do that. I want the opportunity to sit back, relax, get rid of the tie, you know, think a little bit, reflect a little bit, write, teach. I started as a teacher. I want to finish as a teacher. I hope to have a relationship with Larry Rice as he continues to build this spectacular university right here. Perhaps give him a little advice on their program. I love this university, and I love Larry Rice. I have to say that. He has done a phenomenal job, as did the others before him, and you know, look where we are today.
Oh, it's grown by leaps and bounds. We have about a minute.
Sure.
I would be remiss if I did not ask you, is it safe to say that you're going to attempt to remain in education throughout your lifetime?
Yes.
Is this a calling that just cannot be ignored?
It is a calling. I so appreciate the use of that term exactly. I have felt called into education. Didn't intend to go into it, but I always liked school. Decided late in my college career that I was going to teach, and I just always was drawn into what I'm doing. It's why I have the emotion that I have around bond issues, around the developments here in Claremore, where I think Mike McLaren's done a great job. He took my place 15 years ago. Yeah, I will stay involved with education.
Well,
it's
I
my
have
calling.
said time and time again, and I'm going to repeat it here, there's no such thing as somebody who's just a teacher.
That's right.
That doesn't exist. Dr. Ballard, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for what you've done and what you've tried to do.
Yeah.
You've made many, many friends.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Sam. It's a pleasure
All
to
right.
be here.
Bullying is a serious problem all over our country. And here at home, one student found a way to help bring an end to it. That's it, Doctor.
I hope I did okay.
You did.